Yeah, I mean, the call made zero sense to me. Now, I'm not saying.
Obviously, the similarities of Portland because of the third quarter, but this wasn't a little different. What did you see? What did you think happened that third quarter as far as it looked like there were a lot of defensive possessions where not lethargic, but there wasn't that energy that this team needs to play with?
Well, I thought, just going back to the first half, I thought we defended the three-point line. I thought that was going to be really important in the game, and we did a good job. But I think in defending, we overextended a little bit in that first half. We kind of got beat off some drives, but we didn't foul as much. So it was kind of 5-5 at the half. And then to your point, I tried to call a quick timeout. Like, I don't know, it was 10:30 on the clock. I could just see the disposition. We just lethargic, and they were just more aggressive, and you can kind of see it. And that third quarter was very, very similar. The difference we didn't turn the ball over, but they were 12 for 18 in the second half from three. And they went to the free throw line, I think 10 more times than we did. And, we're going to have to be better on really both ends of the floor, because I thought we had 17 assists in the first half. We were moving and sharing the ball. I think you could see when Vooch is out there, it makes the game easier. And then we played like that, in the fourth quarter. But we just came out and we just kind of messed around with the game. And then before you know it, we're down, and we get down by 10 and we're up by 10. And I've got to, somehow help this group solve it and figure that part of it out, because it's been two games where you can't, unfortunately, we're a very good team, but we're not so good that we cannot show up and play in a quarter an NBA game and expect to win, in my opinion.
Why do you think that's happened, though? Because it did present itself earlier in the year. Do you think it's just a matter of just kind of hitting a little November lull? Do you think it's guys getting too much, hey, we know we can win the fourth quarter as we've done it before?
I really don't know what the answer is. I do think, this is just my opinion and what I feel. I think anytime there's a stoppage of play for 15 minutes like there is at halftime, you've got to get yourself in a period of time of really getting ready to come back in and start. There are some guys that can do that really easily, and there's some players that the third quarter starts and they're right on you. We've got to find a way to get ourselves amped up to play. Or ready to, whatever the word is, because we did not come out when that ball went up. I saw it the first minute and a half, and I talked about it in the timeout, and I mentioned at halftime that we did a good job from the 3-point line. I probably should have made more of an emphasis than I did at halftime about the 3-point line, because I was worried about that, and we gave too many of them up. And even though they were driving it in the first half, the three didn't hurt us. That's why we had a 9-point lead. We lost because we fouled in the 3-point line. And I do think some of that had to be with when we came out, we gave them life instead of generating our own life. We didn't give ourselves life, we gave them life.
You said that, maybe you or the coaching staff has to do something different at half. Should that be happening in an NBA locker room, or is that kind of college rah-rah stuff that, that's not your job? These are men, they have to get themselves ready for the second half. What's your mentality about things like that?
I just feel like my responsibility in it is to try to get them to bring an awareness. I did, obviously bring an awareness to it during a timeout and try to talk about some of that stuff at halftime. But, we're all part of the group. You know what I mean? So I am responsible as the head coach. To your point, I don't know necessarily what I could or could not do. I know they're grown men, right, but I got to keep putting it on them that they're going to have to solve that and fix that, because we can't be a good team doing that. We can't. And I don't know how many games ago it was Portland, but to me, that's too close to a window in a very short frame of mind to have two games like that, where you look at those quarters and just say, my God, the first 6 minutes of the Portland game, we turned it over 6 times in the first 6 minutes. I think we had 9 turnovers in that quarter, and we've been a low turnover team. To me, that's focus and concentration. I think the way we came out was focus and concentration. And then all of a sudden, I'm a big believer of the best players and the best teams are internally motivated. They're not externally motivated. They don't go out there and look at the scoreboard. They don't go look out there and someone says something to them or something happens and then that excites them. There's got to be an internal drive. And I've got to, I'm not saying I can do that for them, but we've got to somehow bring that out, because we have shown signs of doing that, but we haven't shown signs of doing it consistently enough. And, I thought that bled into our offense. It bled into our defense. Like everything suffered. I think our guys got frustrated out there with the way it was going. I think there were some plays we could have made that we didn't make. There was a loose ball. I think in the first possession, we went out of bounds. We couldn't grab a rebound. It was like all these plays to me were just like these attention to detail, focus, concentration plays that we didn't make.
Not to try asking you a question that's going to take Christmas money from your kids, but what was the explanation on that call? Because on the replay, it looked like Lonzo definitely got hit on the follow through, but it also definitely looked like he did a single leg takedown when he did land. But was it chicken and the egg, or what was the explanation of why they overruled the hit on the hand? But
well, it was such a big play in the game. That's why I challenged. They lost the timeout, but I figured it was 3 points, potentially 4. If they would have reviewed it, he would have been fouled. I think it would have cut the lead. If it was a 4-point play, it would have cut the lead to 1. I got to be honest with you, Joe, I don't quite understand it because I couldn't see on the video, because the way the video was in the arena, you can't really tell. I was told what you said is they shot it. He came down and fell down and kind of grabbed the guy. Now, I didn't see that. But like, to me, to take away a 3-point shot, and I just being around Lonzo, and again, I don't want to, they said they had a full view on the replay thing to look at.
Right.
So as they were explaining it to me, in all honesty, it made 0 sense to me. 0.
because that was Patrick that was signaling to you that he got hit.
Yeah, I mean, the call made 0 sense to me. Now, I'm not saying it made 0 sense to me because I don't agree with what they said. The way they explained it to me and what I was able to see did not make sense. So if I can get a different camera view, I can maybe understand what they're talking about, but it seems so far-fetched about what they were telling me. It just didn't make sense to me. And I'm not sitting there saying that they were wrong on it. They're obviously looking at it, reviewing it, but I really don't know how you make a call like that based on what I saw.